Hey you guys, I got a cool guitar lesson for today. It's got a lot of stuff in it. We got some harmonized thirds, we got some blues licks, a diminished run, hybrid picking, all kinds of stuff that you can just, I guess, like rip off and steal and put in your own playing if you want. Because that's the whole point. The tune we're going to play right here is just an example of how that you can apply these into your playing. I mean, you can learn it like note for note, and that's cool because it helps you out, but it's just a little tune, you know, but I think like breaking this apart and slipping these little things into your own style is what's going to help you out a ton. So let's jump in. I'll play it slow and have some tabs up, and then I'll break it apart a little bit. Oh, and I should tell you, if you want a complete breakdown and analysis, I'm actually launching a Patreon page. And the kind of things that I'm going to have on that page are stripped down, like complete analysis of the things that I'll be teaching, like why things work the way that they do, how they fit together. And I'm also going to have some extras that you won't see on my YouTube channel. So, like, how I was thinking about it is, say, like, you pull up a YouTube video and you're playing along, you're, like, learning through a song and you're looking at the on-screen tabs. You're playing along and everything's going fine, but you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, I'm getting it down under my fingers here, but at the same time, I don't understand why I'm pushing down, like, these particular set of notes over the over a certain chord. Like, I'm able to parrot it back to you, but, like, I'm not having an understanding of why I'm playing those notes. That's the kind of stuff that I want to correct, because it took me a really long time to understand that stuff. I did take, like, music theory and aural perception and fretboard harmony when I went to a community college, but that was like 15 years after I started playing the guitar. So I was playing for a really long time, and I wasn't understanding any of that, and it drove me crazy. And that's like the reason why I enrolled at college. I didn't get a degree or anything, I just wanted to know. So I want to help other people with that exact same, and that's kind of something that I learned of myself after the 3 years or so of doing 6-string twanging. I realized that it's the understanding part of it that I want to like convey to people. Not just me showing you a lick and you playing it back, but then you don't understand it. Like, why am I playing that? So that Patreon is going to hit on all that kind of stuff. So keep your eye out on it. I'll post something. I haven't, like, put any content on this yet, so I'll give you a shout out when I get it up and running. And I appreciate all you guys. So after all this talking, why don't we get started? So this little tune is in the key of A, and the way it starts off is we're using harmonized thirds. And if you think about that, you know, you have an A major scale, and if I want to harmonize the A note, I'm going to skip over the one in between. You're right, you have A, B, C sharp. I'm going to skip over the B and go to the C sharp and play the A and the C sharp at the same time. Now you can't do it on the same string, so you got to go here to this C sharp. So if you apply that throughout the entire scale, skipping every other note, you have what sounds like. And what we do is we start on the C sharp here, right here, and when we play that against the E. So it's going to be like we're climbing up the scale, harmonizing in thirds. So starting on that C sharp, we play it against the E. And we go here. So it's almost like we're going, you know, here's our 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're starting on that 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip over the skipping over this one and going straight to there. So we're staying in the confines of that scale and still harmonizing in thirds. Now that is the same as where we started. C sharp and E. And for this one, we're just sliding it back and forth here. So this is where the scale breaks, because those aren't in it. And here I'm just using an A chord shape. Not really thinking about anything else other than holding a chord and just playing like 2 notes at the same time. Right? And this is in the scale too. It's a 6. Now here's where we go to our D chord. So what this is approaching it from a half step below. All that is a D7. And I'm taking the D out of it. So that's the root note here is our D. I'm just taking that out. And your ear still understands what that's supposed to be, even though we're taking the D note out of it. Now you might think this is a diminished chord. However, it's actually still a D7. You could make it a diminished chord. Whoops. But it's not that. It sounds like it. It's actually still a D7. Because what we got is, we got our, if we start on our D, we have our major third here, our F sharp, our A, C note, and the notes of a D major are D, F sharp, A. If we add that to C, it becomes a D7. Now when you hold down that, you don't get the A in there, but the A is part of the chord, right? Like if you were to play like a D major like this, you have an A right there. So, again, we're taking the D note out of it. And I think it just gives a cool, like kind of a fresh sound because it sounds so like so clashy and like dissonant. So what we got, and that's all over the A, and then we got, here's our D, and back to the A. Now this one here is an A6. It'd be like holding down an A major chord and pushing down here on your major 6, that F sharp. But we're taking the high A out. We're just going to keep A, C sharp, and F sharp. And that's when it goes back to the A. So it'd be like bum 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 bum. Bum 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 and that right here, same as the beginning. So what that is you're going from an F into an E. You're sliding down into the target chord. Your target chord is an E. You might be thinking, how is that an E? Well, it's an E because if you put your pinky on the E, you have an E triad. E, G sharp, and a B as in boy. Slide that whole thing up a half step. You have an F and an E there. And we're just taking the E off. Our root note is coming off. And then I just end this with like a bluesy kind of lick. And that's the same as doing this. But I like the tone up here better. And I think it's a little bit easier to play, at least for me. So that works out in our favor. And then really a bluesy lick there. That's pretty stock. You're just taking your minor to major third, hammer on. It's kind of like viewing a pentatonic box in A and adding in some of the major as well, like a minor pentatonic box, and adding in some of the major notes. Here's your major 6 right there, right? And your major third here. Again with that hammer on. And then you're just going to do, roll your finger there on the 7th fret D to the 7th fret A string. Then, so you gotta immediately after, because you don't have the time to do like a, you know, because you gotta stay in the beat. But you would do, and then we alternate this a little bit. We're gonna do some variation to keep it interesting. Instead of going, we're gonna go. It's a cool thing to throw in there. So we got right? So what we're doing here when we go that part, I'm walking down from the A to, well, I'm just going half steps down. This chord sets us up so we can end here, which is our target chord. And it's cool because when we walk down, this note here is the major third of our chord that we're about to play. Like that is in the chord, and it's an important note in the chord. And then we go to our D. Strum all the way through, make it a 9. You could just strum the 2 notes from this thing we do, right? Because it's from this shape. So these notes are in it. Same as our last time, but this time we go. I think I did. Just kind of strumming through. I have it all tabbed out. You can just look at that. And this is where our guitar solo starts. And this is an E9, by the way, adding in the 13. Here's our guitar solo. These are ringing together. Small dead note. Now when I do this, I use my pick for the G string, and I use my middle finger for the B string. So I'm hybrid picking that. And then I'm picking them together, like I'm using a pick and my finger. And so when they come together, They're at the same time there while it's bent. And I release the bend while they're still like ringing out together. And that's actually from the A chord. I'm doing the G string and B string together. That's together. And then I jump up to here. Our target is this. For the B string, 10th fret. For the E string, it's the 9th fret, and that comes from our A major triad shape. Triad chord, I should say. It's the same shape as like a D chord, but here's our D note, right? We slide that all the way up, holding that same shape. Slide that up to an A, right there. But we're going to take the G string out of it. No G string. And all we have is our 2 top strings. And all we're going to do is we're going to start here and approach it from a half step below and slide into it. So far. We got a D chord coming up. So what could we do? We have like endless options, right? We have endless options. So what I chose to do is slide up to the D. Now you might be kind of thinking, I'm going to do something like. But we start doing that, and then we go to diminished